Hello, everyone. Thank you for inviting me to share our experiences and resources related to our recent collaborative science outreach initiative driven by OHBM DIC and member scientists. In this talk, I would like to bring the topic of science dissemination, targeting non-professional, general public, and young audiences, especially in different native languages. Language barriers, especially for non-English speaking individuals, have been recently highlighted across diverse domains. Within our science communities, the field is more and more recognizing the issues related to language barriers in science, publication, training, and evaluation to measure productivity in academia. For example, people have suggested several approaches to reduce this gap, such as the 10 tips for overcoming language barriers in science, you can see. Meanwhile, the impact of language barriers is even expand beyond science and science communities. Studies have consistently found that language inequality is one of the central gatekeepers to science education, including the access to knowledge, opportunities, exposure to state of the art research advances, and assessment resources. And furthermore, it can create healthy disparities in general populations and clinical environments. Studies have shown that health disparities are associated with educational levels. In this study using National Health Interview Survey between 2022 and 2016, they found that more educated adults were found to have improved health and longevity than others with low educational levels. The association between health problems and education levels were consistent across race and gender. The most prominent mediating mechanisms were economic, health behavioral, and social psychological factors, in addition to access to healthcare, stress, cognitive and non-cognitive skills, and environmental exposures, among many other mechanisms. Interestingly, access to healthcare also has a role in explaining health inequalities by education, highlighting a role of social factors in this relationship. Health disparities also has a relationship to geographic locations. They found health disparities between low versus high income countries, and also health disparities between different areas in a certain country that also vary across high income nations. And even looking into a single country such as the US, indeed, the observation of health disparities lie on multiple factors that are causally or interactively related to each other, including education and socioeconomic environment, as you can see in the cycle of poverty and mental illness from this paper. These observations together suggest that promoting language diversity and early childhood education can help to improve global health and science itself. Pursuing initiative to achieve these goals can inspire the next generation of researchers with diverse backgrounds. Exposing neuroscience to children from underrepresented backgrounds is critical for fostering diversity in the scientific community and healthcare. Providing equitable access to scientific knowledge can ensure that a broad spectrum of perspectives is brought to the table to enrich the scientific landscape with fresh insights and innovations. The engagement of neuroscientists in science dissemination to children, especially those facing systematic barriers, contributes not only to science literacy but also to the promotion of inclusivity and diversity within all facets of neuroscience and beyond. Despite these advantages, science dissemination efforts are often undervalued within the scientific community. For the past 5 years, members of the OHBM have devoted substantial efforts toward outreach initiatives such as Brain Mappers of Tomorrow, aiming at improving the quality of experience of the annual meeting for families and to the promotion of scientific values and the dissemination of neuroscientific findings across the globe. Every year, the OHBM organizes this BMT event in person at the annual meetings and across the globe either in person or virtually. In a 1 hour session, the presenter will first talk about the latest research on the human brain, about 10 to 15 minutes. Then, during the Q&A time, kid reviewers who have already teamed up with a mentor and reviewed the manuscript in advance will ask questions to the presenter. Every walk-in participant, such as the children of OHBM members participating in person, the conference, can also raise hands and ask questions. After about 20 minutes or more of Q&A, the kid reviewers will give a short speech about the work and their decision on the publication of this article in Frontiers for Young Minds, which is a unique scientific journal targeting young readers. We also have often a short brain art craft activity at the end of session. The first live event of BMT was in 2020, which was a virtual meeting in English. Next year, we expanded it to a multilingual format to engage children from historically underrepresented and non-English speaking backgrounds. We developed new infrastructure, including session-specific flyers in different languages, YouTube playlists with bilingual subtitles, and pre-recorded research presentations. These efforts led to significant participation growth, with events conducted in multiple languages, reaching over 250 children in 2020. In 2023, we saw an exponential growth with 16 local sessions held in 11 languages, engaging over 1,000 children in 10 different countries. In 2023, these sessions covered diverse topics, and local organizers incorporated unique activities to engage children, such as brain-related art craft activities, games, and behavioral enrichment. In addition, an in-person live event was taking place in Montreal, featuring French and English presentation bilingually in collaboration with Frontiers for Young Minds and the OHBM Brain Art Spatial Interest Group. Social media was used to advertise these events and to ensure that the local organizers' volunteer efforts were recognized by the OHBM community and beyond. Post-event surveys were conducted to gather feedback for future improvements. Additionally, interviews with local organizers provided insights into the benefits of participation for early career researchers and directions for future endeavors. Initiatives like BMT can provide benefits to both society and scientists. It can help to nurture a diverse future generation of scientists through inclusive educational opportunities, reducing inequality in language and social geographic factors. It can help children to learn about new, exciting scientific findings directly from the scientists who speak the same language as them with live Q&A. Ultimately, it can help them to develop curiosity and critical thinking about how the brain works, understand ourselves, and inspire them to pursue careers in the field of human brain mapping. It can also help to increase awareness about mental well-being and make right, healthy lifestyle choices. They can understand the dangers of substance abuse, alcohol and nicotine consumption, overuse, and other important issues in mental health. They can develop coping strategies to enhance their resilience and process stress for a better quality of life. Understanding these can help to reduce stigma in society and promote supportive and inclusive environments for individuals suffering from these conditions in their everyday lives in classrooms, families, neighborhoods, and communities. And together, This can build an inclusive mindset to children with a sense of social responsibility and engagement, driving the changes in the whole society. Ultimately, this can help build public trust in the scientific community by demonstrating our commitment to education and outreach and contributing to the enrichment of society as a whole, in addition to our unique goal of advancing science and technology to improve the world and the quality of our lives. Participating in BMT events can help scientists as well. It can help enhance the ability to present complex scientific concepts to non-professional audiences in accessible languages. It provides a platform to share research with possibly one of the hardest audiences to reach, that are children and adolescents. It provides training opportunities for early career researchers and even senior researchers to improve different types and levels of scientific presentations and writings. Sometimes children attending these events often pose very fundamental or unexpected questions about the talks and even beyond that are not directly related to the research scope. This offers an opportunity to revisit the core of their science and address fundamental questions underlying their research topics. One of the local session organizers in 2023 mentioned that it's a great opportunity to rethink their research and understand their own work more clearly. And also, it gives an increased interaction with local communities and broader scientific dialogue, giving opportunities to collaborate with educators and community organizers and building valuable partnerships and networks that extend beyond academia and their local area. And they support attendees who bring their children at the OHBM and require childcare during the meetings, maximizing the benefits that conferences offer to individual attendees. This is an overview of the program preparation process and the expected timeline. Three components: central organizers, local organizers, and the journal editors, like Frontiers for Young Minds, have to work together systematically to reach the goal. From the recruitment of local organizers, communication between them, we do the registration to recruit the local organizers, provide orientation, and we create websites for them. They have to submit the title, abstract, the list of organizers, and a 1 minute short trailer video with subtitles. And sometimes, if they want to submit the manuscript to the journal, they have to let us know about the topic and contents of the manuscript to the journal. We prepare materials like advertisement, event logo, video playlist, and flyers for each session. The local organizers will submit these materials for review for us to confirm the plans and to make sure that materials are appropriate for children and the purpose of OHBM. And it begins to contact schools and parents to set up date and time and location, and we need to update the website about this information. Advertisement materials are going out, and the manuscript is being finished meanwhile and being sent to kid reviewers. And we keep doing the advertisement to schools and parents and local communities. And finally, live event is taking place in different places all over the world, in addition to the in-person session during the actual conference, just like the Korean session for this year's event. And at the same time, the publication process is going on, the journal point of view, to make sure that manuscript is officially handled by the editors and kid reviewers with mentors. This is an example online communication platform created by DIC in 2023. On the left, you see the main page of the event website, and on the left panel, you can see the list of local sessions. Importantly, these websites are designed to include both languages, one in English and another in native languages, so that it can satisfy both participants in native languages and also the people who are trying to understand and get the information about the events. And on the other hand, we have a playlist created on YouTube, including the trailer videos introducing to the summary or introduction of the presentation of each local session. And here you see an example of session-specific web pages that includes the introduction to the talk in two languages, in native language and in English, in addition to the photos and details about the organizers and presenters, which also had a link to the online registration form to recruit children participants, or parents, or schools and teachers. Initiatives like BMT can have different formats. It can be in person, it can be virtual, and also hybrid, such as recording the session that is happening in person so that people online can also join the Q&A session if appropriate. Participants can be recruited from children of conference attendee parents. It can be classes at local school. It can be multiple classes from multiple schools in different cities if the event is happening online, might be more appropriate. Or it can be multiple sessions if the organizers have bandwidth to do so. Depending on the fact that the presenter is planning to submit a manuscript for journal, like Frontiers for Young Minds, or not, the program can be organized different way. If the presenter is submitting a manuscript for publication in a journal like that, it may take a couple of months to prepare the whole event. After submitting the manuscript, it will go over editorial review step, which may take about 2 to 3 weeks. Once it passed the desk review, it can go to the kid reviewers with linked mentor so that they have enough time to understand what the manuscript is about. And then at the live event, the kid reviewers and mentors will be participating in person or virtually to listen to the talk by the presenter, and they can have about 30 minutes or less or more, depending on the moderator's plan. They can have a Q&A session between the presenter and the kid reviewers, in addition to the walk-in participants, in our case, for OHBM and BMT event. And after the Q&A session, the kid reviewers can discuss and determine to accept or reject the manuscript, just like what we do for major adult targeting journals. They can make a decision like that. And their reviews and decision will be uploaded online platform for journal publication. And once they are accepted or received minor or major revision, they will do the necessary steps until the publication of the manuscript. If the presenter is not planning to submit a manuscript for journal publication, it can be a little bit more simpler. They prepare the presentation and recruit the children participants, classroom or teachers. And on the live event, they can present about their research or other relative topics. And after the presentation, they can have a similar amount of question and answer time between the presenter and children participating in the event. And once it is done, they can have some extra activities such as game or art craft activities or behavioral experiments that can help to engage the children for these activities. And here we provide some recommendation checkpoints for central organizers. We believe that it is super important to have a nice online communication platform, such as web pages and playlists, to provide a sufficient amount of information about the event and the presenter and organizers for potential children participants to understand what the event is about and to see if they are interested in joining. It's very nice to have the subtitles to help individuals with certain conditions in language, vision, or hearing functions. And importantly, we recommend to provide a training sessions for volunteer moderators and presenter and provide support to give resources they need in terms of websites, flyers, or editing or reviewing the materials they are trying to present. And we want to emphasize that it's really important to highlight the contributions of volunteers' time and effort to these local sessions and promote the recognition of their contributions so that this can be a rewarding and happy experiences for the volunteer scientist. To do that, it would be great to use the social media for community engagement and use a lot of already existing outreach programs to expand the impact of your sessions. And because this is a part of big conference organization like OHBM, it's important to have a safety and security guideline because we are handling children that need care. And it's important to have agreement of teachers and parents, and also about the sharing the photos or other materials on social media. It might be helpful to have a funding and budget management to provide more financial support to get a better organization of the local sessions. It might be good to have a feedback and evaluation mechanisms so that you can understand the challenges of local organizers or steps of your own central organization team so that you can have a better or improvement in your events in the next year. For local session organizers, these checkpoints can be helpful. It's good to have a very comprehensive planning in terms of timeline of each component, just like the steps that we provided in the diagram before. You need to keep communication with central organizers. When preparing your materials, it's super important to know who your audiences are. Typically, these are children between the age 8 to 14 years old, for example. And for them, you want to use a very easy languages and a graphical description of your research and very intuitive way of helping them to understand what your research is about. Perhaps might be helpful to prepare some interesting activities or games to engage the children with high quality contents, video or audio materials. And we can't emphasize more the importance of advertisement. So try to use the online and offline resources, communities to recruit. Sometimes you will need to directly contact schools if you can. Actually, that's one of the most popular and well working strategy based on our experiences. Don't forget to implement the safety and security measures provided by central organizers and use the resources and support maximally that are provided from the central organizers. We highly recommend that the local session organizers will reach out to underprivileged areas and schools to achieve our goal to promote equal opportunity of science education. And it might be very helpful for central organizers to receive the local feedback collected on your end so that we can improve our support in next years. If you want to hear more about what it's like to participate in this event, you may want to take a look at our recent blog post with interview with 3 local organizers in French, Italian, and Portuguese sessions in 2023. To facilitate the participation of scientists in such initiative, we might need a better system to increase the recognition of their effort by peer scientists and develop rewarding mechanisms such as free registration codes for the conferences or awards or certificates that can help them to recognize this as a positive experiences. Recruit children and their guardians or teachers in highly developed countries or cities with numerous resources and infrastructure may be already in place can be challenging because they feel no need of such initiative, perhaps. In such cases, you might need to prepare more engaging materials tailored to the audience, such as audiovisual materials and online resources to captivate the public's interest. On the other hand, limited access to advertising can be challenging when you're trying to extend your outreach to underprivileged communities, either geographically, socioeconomically, or in various dimensions. In such cases, additional efforts to establish connections, to invite schools and persuade them to participate may be needed. We might consider to provide financial support for Wi-Fi access or domestic transportation for local organizers to facilitate the connections. But still, some children from underprivileged backgrounds may lack access to the internet or a physical location for in-person participation if they're really, really far away from downtown, for example. So, contacting individuals leading local childhood scouting organizations or the Ministry of Education in respective countries might be helpful for better recruitment. And if they are not able to attend your local sessions, recording and sharing the entire event online or through alternative means can be helpful if they're not able to attend. A large-scale international initiative of science dissemination like BMT is only possible with the tremendous contribution of local session organizers across the globe. Like you see from the screen, the list of organizers and the past BMT events. I appreciate all of these people's contribution, and we look forward to more people to join us in continuing our efforts to promote the diversity and inclusivity in science education and neuroscience community. If you're interested in learning more about the BMT events, we have a preprint from the DIC on Psych Archive, which is under revision right now. Thank you for your attention.